Today I'm going to explain how I use VWAP for my catalyst-based strategy. And for those who are new here and don't know what my catalyst strategy is, it is essentially either day trading or swing trading stocks with a strong catalyst and looking to capture an explosive move. Let's jump right into it. So yesterday I had 5 stocks that I pre-selected during the pre-market session because they had a strong catalyst. One of them is the one that you see on the screen. I looked at the catalyst, I analyzed it, and I thought based on it, these stocks had a high probability to make a move. But that's not enough for me to enter a position at the market open, for example. I wait to see how the stock reacts around VWAP, and that's how I'm using VWAP to enter or not a position. Let me show you a few examples from yesterday's stock selection. So CALM that you see on the screen, CALM, reported their earnings on the 22nd after the market closed, and the numbers were actually pretty decent. So they reported sales being up 72% year on year, an EPS beat of 12.1%, which is decent, and operating margins up 20.9%. So this is a good catalyst, maybe not game-changing, but still something worth looking at. And in fact, the stock was actually gapping up, but the gap up was not too bad, was not too extended, about 8%. And so in fact, what happened was that the stock rallied a little bit at the market open for about 6-7 minutes. And it was trading above VWAP. And this is actually where I am looking to see what's going on around VWAP. So it rallied and then it gave up some of the gains and tested the VWAP. Then it tried to rally again a little bit, but then it gave up some of those gains again. You can see here that this candle here had a huge red volume, which is already a red flag. But the thing is here, it actually went below VWAP, and that's already not a good sign. It just tells me that there isn't enough steam, there aren't enough buyers to push this stock higher. And so even if it went up a little bit again above VWAP, that there isn't much energy to take that stock further up. Let's take another example. So A-Mode was another stock that yesterday had a catalyst. So let's see. Now, so the catalyst was that A-Mode secured exclusive national rights to deploy Cash XAI AI-driven financial kiosk aimed to serve 60 million plus underbanked in America. The interesting thing about that catalyst in the news was that they were projecting that over the next 3 to 5 years, they were gonna get 20 million in monthly recurring revenue potential at that scale. And so on that catalyst, you can see that, you know, the stock started trading pre-market and went all the way from $1.17 to $2.14.2, which is a move of nearly 100% pre-market. And then it gave up some of those gains. Around the market open, this is where I'm looking at what's going to happen around VWAP. So you can see here that the stock is first of all trading below VWAP, and that there were a lot of red candles and it went way below VWAP. And that's again a sign of weakness. When the stock deviates so much from VWAP, it tells me that there isn't enough steam, there aren't enough buyers. Now I'll give it a chance and I'll be waiting to see what happens. Now in this case, it went up a little bit, but it rallied in a sharp way. That those sharp rallies, they tend to be followed by sharp declines. Now if it would have spent enough time above VWAP, maybe then I would have said, okay, you know, this thing is turning, it's turning positive, there are buyers coming in. But it wasn't really the case here. So it went sharply above VWAP very, very quickly. It was met with resistance, and then it went again all the way below VWAP, and it continued the session below VWAP. Another example of a stock that had a catalyst but didn't work is VICOR. And so this stock is pretty obvious and self-explanatory here what happened. So the stock had earnings released on the 22nd after the market closed. Sales were up 64.3 year on year. EPS beat was 427%. very significant EPS beat. And this is actually why I selected this stock. And so what happened was that, you know, there was a huge gap up on the post-market session of the 22nd. The stock did not give up the gains on the pre-market session of the next day. So that was actually interesting. It continued trading kind of around and a little bit above VWAP, but at the market open, this is where you see that it just gave up a lot of those gains. In fact, most of the gains, and you can see that it was trading way below VWAP from the get-go, from the open. And so this is really a sign of weakness. I would still keep an eye on this stock for a delayed reaction, and the reason being that the EPS beat was quite significant, and maybe the reason why it gave up a lot of the gains is because it was so extended. The reaction post-market on the day of the release was so dramatic that the gains were given up, a lot of profit taking, and maybe in the next few days there will be some buy-in coming in. Now let me show you the trade that I actually took, which was EAVS, and how I used VWAP to inform my trade and enter my position. So here, so VS is a drone maker, and the catalyst they had was actually on the 22nd, not on the 23rd. The catalyst was that EB Vision, one of their drones, is now Blue UAS certified and makes it eligible for procurement by US Department of Defense and maybe other agencies. On the day of the catalyst, actually the stock didn't behave particularly well. It was actually here. It was just again trading below VWAP, not much happening. But yesterday it traded at the open very, very closely to VWAP until it actually started trading above VWAP and going way above VWAP. And this is where I saw the opportunity. One of the other things that I look at as well is the fact that it starts trading above VWAP kind of in the first trading hours, so maybe before 10 o'clock, before 10:30. That's when I want to see that the stock has some energy. I don't want to see the stock having energy way into the trading session. I want to see that in the first hour, and this is actually what happened here. The stock is currently trading at $334 pre-market of today. And so yesterday was a 40% move, I think. Yeah, that's right. And so this brings me to the end of this video. So to recap, I use VWAP to enter my positions after I've selected the stocks that I think had a very positive catalyst. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.